pressing where it says "Got it." Click that, clear the screen for yourself, and then find your comfortable seat. Make sure you're not only sitting in a comfortable chair, but also that you have your support safety items around you. So just very briefly, upright, chin slightly down, crown lengthening up. You should feel an openness and opening at the base of the skull. There's this description in Tai Chi of a string tied to the very tip of the crown that we are being suspended from. And often when I say that, people do something like this. I say lengthen up at the crown, people lift, but maybe you can see that that does the opposite. So it's actually chin down, back, and base of skull up that creates that upright lifting quality. And then balance or align the tip top of your head with the perineum or the floor of the pelvis. So those 2 points there, like a positive end of a battery and a negative end of a battery under here. Between those 2 points is your central channel. And so when meditating, you're basically creating that central channel or aligning it, and then just relaxing everything else. So it's just sloughing off, releasing off, so that you're as soft, relaxed, and at ease as possible, but without any loss of integrity, structural integrity. So that combination of ease and integrity and stability is balancing opposites to a degree. And then when we are walking, shifting, moving, turning, I will keep referencing you back to this sensation. So it's as if your meditating central channel floating is just on a ride, but you're never losing that. You're never sacrificing that feeling of inner stillness, inner stability, but also inner ease. So let's just take another minute. You can close the eyes if you'd like, or have them softly open. Breathing in, ideally through the nose. A little hold of the breath, savoring it there. And then breathing out when you're ready, through the nose or the mouth. Holding the breath empty there, letting it fully complete and end for your next round of inhale. Continue that for a minute. I'm just going to mute everybody too. Notice how with relaxation, there is a different quality of oneness and integration with brain through the nervous system to the body than there is with tension. Right? We could have the body be in a state of oneness by tensing everything up and grabbing onto everything, which is what a lot of people are doing subconsciously. Or we could soften everything, lengthen, and create space throughout, which in the beginning can feel a little unstable, right? Because you're letting go of the controls to some degree. But what you're also doing is allowing for the liquid nature, the hydraulic pneumatic system of the body to be what you use rather than firming, tightening everything, and then moving around kind of robotic. Last 30 seconds here. Now, retaining this very soft situation, relaxed as you can be, you're going to slide your hands a bit forward and past the kneecaps, hollow the chest back, and drop the head. So it's basically cat pose, spinal flexion, rounded. Feel opening along the whole back of the body. Then the opposite of that. Slide the hands back, pull the elbows back, lift your chest, lift your chin, arch the back gently to stay within your comfort zone. And then again, sliding the hands forward, dropping the head, rounding the back, gentle bit back. Sliding the hands back, pull the elbows back, lifting the chest, arching gently. And one more. Sliding hands forward, dropping. Sliding hands, elbows back, arching. And then just settle back to your meditation posture. Now we go left hand, sliding forward past the knee. Right hand and elbow slide back. Turn the shoulders and the head to the right, as if just looking behind you. Gentle twist. Then softly back through the middle and to the other side. Softly back through the middle, other side. We're just going to do 3 of everything. So this is 2. Softly to the other side. And 1 more each way. And back. And find neutral position there. And scoot back on your chair a little bit. We'll do our legs, and then we're going to do most of our other stuff standing. Okay? So turn a little sideways. Chamber, which means lift the knee and pull the heel in close to the buttock. So bring one leg up, and then pushing till the leg is completely straight. And then reversing that and setting that foot down. Other leg, chamber, push, chamber, down, chamber, push, chamber, down, chamber, push, chamber, down. Now let's do 3 pushing chambers on one leg. 1, 2, 3. Just getting the pump through that leg. Let's do the other. 1, 2, 3. And now extend that leg and hold it straight. Point, flex. So just get foot and ankle. And then invert, evert, just this little soft waggle of the foot. Circles in and around and out. And the other way. Circles. And set that foot down. Other leg straight, point, and flex. Invert, evert, just that little subtle side-to-side movement of the foot. Notice the leg isn't moving, the foot is. Then circles. Other way, circles. And Scoop forward to the edge of your chair. Now just this swiveling gesture. So step your feet a little wider apart, call that shoulder distance. And lift the ball of your left foot, turning on the heel, the knee and the toes come in, the thigh bone internally rotates. And then through neutral to external rotation. So again, the movement's coming from the hip. Internal, external. So the pelvis stays right where it is. This leg pretty much doesn't move. And that other leg is the moving part. External, internal. So we want to cultivate space in this hip. Often these areas are congealed, congested, squeezing onto each other. So each movement with a soft quality is just opening up space for that liquid, that fluid, that generally spacious quality in the joint, which gives us more agility, mobility, and balance. Other leg. Internal. External. Internal. Continue that. We'll let somebody in. And one of the most important ones is this internal rotation. It's a shape we don't often make, right? But it's all throughout Chinese martial arts and Qigong and Tai Chi, which are more sort of body therapy stuff. You see this all the time, this awareness of internal rotation. It's like flossing your teeth. You don't want to miss certain areas. You get plaque buildup, tartar buildup. Similarly in our body and our nervous system. So let's go both legs, internal. So make sure you're wide enough, you have room to get those toes and knees to come in and out. In, out. Again, always keep in mind space. Like, why are we doing movement? It matters, right? If we thought, oh, we're doing this to make everything really, really tense, we would do it differently than if we thought, oh, we're opening space. We're just kind of polishing, we're flossing, we're softening the area. Last one. And back to neutral. Come back to regular shoulder distance. And then forward fold, just bowing. So the emphasis here is legs aren't moving. Pelvis is. Back to vertical. And then fold again. So just do this a few times. Adding to it this tipping back a little bit. When you come up, almost like you're trying to touch your back to the back of the chair. And then from that leaning back position, you're coming up to vertical. And then you're tipping forward. And just noting that the spine is just along for the ride. But the movement is happening where the legs and hips meet. In that socket, right? So the spine may be doing a little bit of waving back, a little waving forward, but we're not jamming any particular spinal joint. So we're finding very clearly for ourselves hip hinging, and then make that last one there your last one, and sit upright. Now to stand up and sit down, you're going to slide your feet back a little bit. So usually we're here. When it's time to stand up, bring those feet back. Arms hang loose. The ankles become the center of a scale that has two dishes on either side, right? We all know that visually. So the shoulders, head, and arms go to this side of the scale. The butt is the balancing part of the other side of the scale. Standing up becomes easy as can be. All the way up. When we go to sit down, we don't want to let everything go to that side of the scale. We'll fall into the chair. So we put the butt on that side of the scale, the shoulders, arms, and head on this side of the scale, and then sink. And then we're upright. Time to stand up. So it's this forward folding, which is happening with softness, softness, softness. At what point did you really need to work really hard to stand up, right? If you're doing it right, at no point. So that's the essence of Tai Chi, Qigong, is recognizing pneumatic hydraulic movement makes things more effective, more sustainable, and eventually more powerful and healthier. Like it's polishing areas, it's making areas rejuvenate rather than exhausting the joints, exhausting the tissues, and so on. Now just squats, where you don't sit in your chair, the butt goes back, sink, and let your arms hang so loosely that you feel your whole back open up. And then push through the earth and rise. So this is another hallmark of Tai Chi and Qigong, is a recognition that the spine all the way up wants to open in a round direction, going around the outside towards the front. Whereas in fitness, a lot of times we're jamming the back. We're thinking strength in terms of harder, stronger, stiffer, but we're actually closing off the nerve plexus areas that feed the nerves out through the body from the central nervous system. So as you sink, the butt goes back, the arms are loose, and let your back be round, gently rounded, open, so you feel space between the muscles of the back and the spine itself. And also notice that you can go down and up with ease. Last two, just sinking and rising. If your knees hurt when you do this, it's probably because you're pushing them that way at some point, rather than if you watch when I do it, at no point do I push these forward. I'm sending this back and down. And yet I'm getting my hands very close to the floor. I can pick up a pen or glasses or whatever had fallen, right? Okay, so now we're up, standing vertical. From here, let me adjust my screen just a bit. Okay. So from standing, change your body weight to your right leg a little bit. Just softly let your right leg be your support leg. Left leg's a little emptier. Might even do this little thing I'm doing here, a little waggle. And then change. This leg loose. Change. Other leg loose. Once again, the idea of effortless, that you don't need to grip on and hold the leg. In fact, you actually need to get out of the way, let it gently compress. Let your body weight go in and through that leg as you change side to side. And also, can you feel as though the weight change is happening underground, as opposed to I'm coming up, over, and down through my leg? Can it be that I never come up? It just changes, so that, you know, a few feet underground, you're rooted, and all you're doing is making this leg the plug or conduit to that root. And then this leg, and you're feeling a differentiation from one empty, one full, other full, other empty. Now stay with this left leg. It's my right leg, your left leg. Empty, and lift the heel. Possibly even lift to the tippy toes, where you're just on your tippy toes, and then lower the whole foot back down without any weighted change. Other leg, wait for it to be empty so that it's just a very easy gesture to say heel, maybe up to the tippy toes, and then back down, and then change. Now also picture your teacup sitting right on top of your head. And so we're not tipping this way and tipping this way. We're keeping that vertical line. Lift and lower, shift. Lift and lower, shift. Do that a few more times. Now, as you shift into your right leg this next time, use that chair on that side for balance as needed. Could just be touching it with psychological support. But lift and pick the foot up off the ground. So you get that knee to lift, chambering it, and then lower the leg down the whole foot, and then shift. Now you got your other side. Lift. And it's this lowering part that's just as important, letting a soft leg go down, and then shift. Up. Down. Shift. So discerning. The leg is empty, teacup balance. I keep all of that as that leg drops down, and I shift. Up, down. One more. Now, shift over to this side. Here, you're going to put the weight in the left leg, and now the inside leg is empty. Put it out in front and softly touch the heel on the ground. Just notice if it's empty, it should be able to internally rotate, externally rotate without disturbing the rest of the body. If I'm stiffly in this leg and I try to turn it, my body is going to have to do something with it. But if it's really empty, it's loose. All right? Then shift into and get empty on the tip of the toes of the back foot. And that same feeling of loose quality is needed there. Then we shift back. So for this level one, the heel never leaves the floor in the front foot. Toe never leaves the floor in the back foot. But we're working on changing. Full empty. Shift as if shifting underground. Full empty. Full empty. Level one. Keep that teacup in mind, that meditation central channel, undisturbed, moving forward through space. Now we're going for level two. Again, you might need your hand on your chair for this one. Level two just is lift that leg by emptying this hip, put it back down, shift. Once you're emptying your back leg, just bend the knee, pulling the heel towards the butt like a little flamingo, and then toe down back where it was, shift. Empty hip, lift, lower, shift. If you jump the gun on the lift of the foot, you're going to throw off your balance. And so that's a big part of what we're practicing is just waiting long enough to actually feel an empty leg before you lift it. Lift it. And eventually that change from full to empty leg to leg can become almost instantaneous, but it requires soft, spacious, relaxed shoulders, right? Notice many times we're holding, we're grabbing, we're wrapping our arms around, we're doing something that's causing that upper body to be stiff. Now, the next time you're in your back leg, we go to level three. Might need your hand on your chair for this. Now that's that lift. Knee up, set the heel back down gently, shift into the right leg. Now, not only heel to butt, but bring that knee forward and up. Reach the toe back, shift back. Knee up, almost like a string is tied to that knee. Set the heel down, still empty, shift. Knee forward and up, like you're getting ready to step up a stair, or up, if you're hiking up onto a rock or something like that. All right, so this is just such a valuable skill to be able to empty a leg and put it where you want it to go while retaining your balance. Last one, each side, level three. Up, down, empty, then shift. Up, back, shift. All right, we're going to switch sides. So feet together, take a little side step over towards your other chair, so you're close to it. Inside leg should be your left. It's my right, your left. Empty, loose, loose all the way up at the hip. And then shift. Back leg loose, empty all the way up at the hip. Shift. Check the teacup on the top of your head. Check that meditation quality through your central channel, undisturbed as you make one leg your conduit to your root. And then you switch. Notice your shoulders, can they soften? Notice any grip, and they release. Notice that like a rocking chair rocks back and forth without any effort, so too can we do that with our body. Just rock and rock. Then we're using our liquid body. One more. Stay in that liquid feel. Make sure you got a good root in the back foot. Now level 2, empty left hip. So the leg just lifts up, lowers down, we shift. Back foot, heel comes to the buttock. Toe down, shift back. Lift, lower, shift. Rocking chair. Lift, lower, rocking chair. Heel to butt and down. Couple more. Now, level 3, you might need your hand on your chair. This is where this knee, like a string is tied to the knee. You lift it up, lower it all the way down, heel touching the ground softly, shift like a rocking chair. Then back leg, knee comes forward and up, like you're getting ready to step up on a high curve, and then you go back, toe touch, shift back, lift, left knee, lower down, touch the heel softly, still empty, shift. Right knee, back with the toe, shift back, continue. Waiting long enough to feel one leg, your full leg, the other empty, so it's free to step or lift or move. And last one. And stepping feet together, side step over to the other side, set up exactly like you just did. So outside leg full, inside leg empty, steps out, level 1. So this is rocking chair. Once this back foot is empty, let it swing forward and touch the heel, and then rocking chair forward. Then we go back. Rocking chair back, wait until your front leg is actually empty to swing an empty foot and touch the toe empty, shift back. So shift, wait until the weight change happens, then swing an empty foot, step, shift. Shift back, swing, shift back. The most like regular walking, just shift, swing, shift. Shift back, swing back, shift back. Shift, swing forward, shift forward. Still with that ease, your teacup doing well, your central channel at rest. So inner stillness undisturbed. Now we'll go level 2. So that's lift, lower, shift. Now there's a small little obstacle on the ground. You have to step up and over it, put the heel down in front, shift. Back foot, heel to butt, toe down, shift back. Now there's an obstacle right behind your heel. Lift, tuck, reach the toe back, and then shift. Up, down, shift. Small obstacle, up and over with an empty foot, and then shift. Lift, lower, shift. So this is very revealing of, are you empty? This should all eventually be able to happen without any disturbance the rest of the frame. Lift, lower, shift, let the weight go through to the earth through that leg, up and over, shift, up, down. So that's level 2. Now level 3, again, you may very well need that support hand there. It's knee up, then down, shift, and then this is just exaggerated. Heel to butt, knee up, foot forward, and then lowers down, heel touch, shift, and then we go knee up. Then we reverse, reach back, shift back, exaggerate, up, tuck, reach the toe back, all while staying in this front leg now, this left or right leg, and then shift. Lift, lower, shift. Exaggerated, shift. Up, back, shift. Exaggerated, step, whatever that means for you. Let's do one more. Shift, wait for it to be empty. Then it's free. Shift. So even though you wouldn't do much walking like this through the supermarket, right? As a practice, what this does is it helps us really push back that encroaching feeling of I'm sort of imbalanced, I'm unsafe, right? Let's go to the other side, right? Because if all we practice is this easiest version, right? This one here, this is level 1 on this side now. And this is probably how you'll do most of your sort of walking in public. But if that's all you feel comfortable doing, what happens when there's a high curve? What happens if you're out on a hike? You got to step up on a rock. So they are functional movements, these sort of exaggerated movements. But they also just make our nervous system feel more room, more space around us than sort of this is our only realm that we feel safe. So first we just get this feeling of comfortable, easy, loose, forward and back. Full empty, full empty. Then we go level 2, lift, lower, so that tests, is this actually empty? Then we got the obstacle. Can you disconnect, step up and over, and land it without falling into the leg? So we add that little extra, it's like a reflection. It shows you if you're not empty when you do this, your whole body does something funny versus being able to lift lower. Step with ease. Lift lower without any disturbance anywhere in the body. Couple more, level 2. Loose, relaxed, kind of hanging out. Letting that liquid, hydraulic, pneumatic chi level of your body be what you rely upon rather than brittleness and tension and grip and concern. Right? Let's go level 3. So again, you might want hand on something. Yep. Heel softly down. Shift. Now this is just exaggerated. So you go heel to butt, knee up, foot out, down. Shift. Knee up. Toe back. Shift back. Up. Reach. Shift. Up. Down. Shift. And the whole while you're thinking meditation posture. Just easy crown. Perineum under there. Central line intact. Letting all these moving parts move around the outside of this center. Undisturbed center. Last one. All right. Now our final challenge with all of this is you need your runway. So you need to find, move this so I can be in front, you could be behind your chairs, that's fine. So now you get to the back end of a runway to where you'll have some room for about 5 steps or so. Empty one foot, put it out there. Rocking chair. Swing the foot, land it empty, rocking chair. Swing the foot, empty, rocking chair. And then backwards, of course, be safe here. Shift back, wait for the front foot to be empty, swing it back, the toe touches, shift back. Swing the empty foot, toe touch, shift back. Swing, shift back. Let's do another level 1. Someday, be able to just cruise. Cruise. How's your teacup doing? How's that meditation central channel doing? How are your shoulders? Are they soft and at ease? Now let's go level 2. So there's a constant sort of up and over step. You shift, and then the back foot has to come up and over something. Shift, up and over. And then go back, shift, up and over, shift, up, tuck, reach back. This is very important here. This reaching back without leaving your front leg. That's what gives people a lot of many problems, is they usually go back with the foot and fall into it. Instead of reach it back, but stay in your front leg. Let's go level 3. Here. And then it's just exaggerated to whatever degree you can challenge yourself, that leg. And the slower you go, the fewer reps, very slow, ends up being the best way to do it because you're challenging a duration, a stamina of staying well balanced through your full leg, the entire movement. And then you're getting that full leg intact and taking a nice, safe step all the way back. And finish. Facing forward. Shogun, or closing gesture. So this is the Qigong gesture. Arms come up, turn the palms up. There's an up over the top sort of circular gesture, a sort of gathering. And then as the hands settle, the mind, our attention drops down with the hands to the belly button height. So right where your belly button is, take a finger and put it in your belly button and point back into the middle of you. That place in the very middle of the middle is the middle, right? The middle dantian, or the middle sort of energy coagulation, condensation area. So the mind resting there. This is also where our movement comes from when we practice Tai Chi and we do what we do. So settling there for just a moment before moving on to the next bit. Shoulders soft, elbows relaxed, hands loose. And releasing arms down. Side steps. So now let's move back to this runway, side of the runway. And weight goes through the outside leg. Should be your right leg. Left leg is empty. Foot goes out, but the body weight doesn't. Foot comes in, nothing is disturbed. Out and in. So can that foot and leg move without the body going with it, the body coming back, the body going with it? Can we separate that experience so we're stepping without any weight shift? One more. As that foot gets out there, leave it there. Now change the weight. This leg is the full leg, that leg empty, and then change back. Change. Notice down is as important as left, right. So there's some amount of going this way we need to get over the leg, but then really we have to let the weight go through so that this is empty. Same idea here. Change the weight, but we don't just keep going and going and going. You get too far. There's a perfect amount, and then you let it go through. One more. Change. Change. Now, bring this empty foot in and back out without disturbing what you got going on. Teacup, central channel, stillness. Now, bring that foot in, keep it in, feet as close together as you can, so that you challenge now, change the weight through that right leg. And then change the weight through that left leg. So this is where you really emphasize it isn't about left, right. It's about down and through. Down and through. Down and through. So this leg is empty, loose. And then down and through. This leg, empty, loose. Getting to where that becomes effortless. Change. Now, stay in this outside leg, right leg, inside leg empty, step without any weight. Shift without step. Step in without putting the weight in this leg, and then change. This leg empty, out. Change. In. Change. Out. So step without shifting. Shift without step. Step without shifting, keeping it empty and loose. Change. Find that central channel, that stillness, that meditation, that teacup. One more in this direction, then we switch. Now, right leg comes in, goes back out. Let's go that way. Change. Once it's empty, bring it in. So start to train your awareness of at what point does that actually become so empty that it can move? And then at what point am I safely here to where this can go? So that's when it can speed up, you might say, is when you get really good at, okay, that's my leg, and now I just stepped out. So it's almost simultaneous, right? It's almost, oh, boom. Boom. This one, shoom. But it's by easing our way. One more time, there and back. And again, where it starts to become Tai Chi, this is something we work on in the Friday class. So that's why these classes do really go well together, is this shift and turn, the hands sweeping. Shift and turn, the hands sweeping. This is the bear wash pause. Also can become hands play with clouds. But if you notice, if you got confused, as soon as I started adding what's going on up here, can you notice that if I drop that off again, everything below is pretty much the same. It's just adding a little turn. Let's go back the other way. So all there is just a light little rotation, light little rotation. There's a shift and a slight turn, letting the arms float. The hands play with clouds. So the direction you're turning, that's the hand that's high. Cloud and lake. Cloud and lake. Again, so this is one of the more advanced movements we're working on in our Friday class. And a Tai Chi form is made up of a lot of moves like this, but they link together and they move through it. And back to neutral. Make your way back to the middle. Shogun. So that little up and over, that settling, soft, easy, relaxed, cultivated in the middle. That's where everything comes from, returns to. Often we're centralized up here, makes us top heavy, and we've got all this tension carrying around up here. But if we loosen that, we find, oh, we've got a middle, like a nexus point to move from and shift and turn and do all kinds of stuff. Right? Okay, now make sure you're in between your chairs on either side, have enough room so you can move around. Shift the weight to the left leg, right foot turns out. It's empty. Then as you shift into it, you turn your torso to square in that direction of your right toes. Bring your left foot alongside your right foot without any weight in it. And then empty the right foot again. Turn the right foot out, keeping it empty. And then pour the weight through the right leg, turn the body to align with the right toes, bring the left foot to match the right foot. Empty the right foot again. When it's empty, turn it out. Keep it empty and then shift into it, through it. Bring the left foot around, keep the left foot hovering above the ground a little extra so you don't just fall right into it. And again, empty the right foot, turn it out. Shift and turn and along. Let's go around again. So eventually this too becomes that one that's kind of instantaneous. As I go through the left leg, the right foot's empty so I can step. So that can start to happen like, boom, in one moment of time. But it's not a rush. And then it's just shoom. But it's not a rush. So that's where Tai Chi is important. At first you go slow so that you challenge yourself to pay attention to subtlety and precision, which then when you have that, then speed is something that's easy. Shoom. You just let it flow down through the leg, the other foot being empty, it can turn out all in one simultaneous moment. And then shoom. Shoom. Go around a third time. Whereas a lot of times at the beginning, people are going to try to speed up and go clunk, 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 clunk. I did it. And it's like, well, you cultivated the wrong thing. Versus the right thing is soft and empty, full, easy shift and turn. Soft and turn, no rush, no imbalance, no clunkiness. As you finish that last one and you're facing forward, let's go to the left. Left foot turns out, it's empty. Make sure of it. Shift through it. Rotate and realign. Bring the right foot to match the left foot. And then pour the weight through the right leg. Left foot, as it's empty, can turn out. Shift and rotate. Turn. So those of you that have been doing it for a little bit, you can start to add right away the thing I was talking about in terms of simultaneous. As you're shifting down through the right leg, you're turning the left leg out because it's already in. As you're shifting and turning, you're bringing that right foot in. So now it's simultaneous. Boom. Boom. It's like one event, but it's not clunky. It's not rushed, but it is efficient and precise and, in fact, fast. But there's the basketball quote, John Wooden, be quick, but don't hurry. So that means deep on the inside, you're totally at ease, but yet you're efficient. Shoom. But turn. Somewhat swift, right? The word swift is what is better to think about. It's like swiftness has just an ease to it, flows right through. The next time you're facing forward, meet me there. Now, instead of right foot turning out, turns in. So just do that a couple of times. Pigeon toe. Now, important thing here, I'll just show it. When when I turn my leg that way, also the pelvis turns a little bit on the standing leg. So the pubic bone and belly button will be turned a little bit that way, right? So there's that little bit that happens. So it's not just the leg and nothing else happens here. There's like this shut. It's like it's turning inward thing here, sort of pinching in right there. So let's again do it. So your right leg turns in. There's that little pinch, and then shift into the right leg and square yourself. You should be slightly turned off to that corner. Empty the right leg again and do that little pigeon toe maneuver again. And then shift, and you should be slightly off, turn to the next little point. Again, empty the right foot, pigeon toe, and get into that little pinch position in the groin area, kind of pinch, and then change. And then pigeon toe, slight pinch, shift. Should be thereabouts back to where you started at some point. Go around again, same direction. So pigeon toe, change. Pigeon toe, change. Pigeon toe, change. Pigeon toe. And the knees should not be bothered by this because it's happening in the hips. So the knees are actually in good alignment all the way through. Let's go the other way. Pigeon toe, change. Pigeon toe, change. Empty the leg first, then make the little step without putting weight in it. Then feel that there's a shift of weight. The other leg becomes empty, brings it in alignment. Then, like I said before, it can become simultaneous, where it's my weight's going through the right and I'm empty and stepping, and then I'm changing my weight and bringing everything together, simultaneous. Boom, boom. So it's just like one event. Ha. Yeah. And boom. Now watch me do this final one. Right foot turns out as we're accustomed. Shift, and then here, this is the importance of left foot being empty because we need to go pigeon toe. And then if we just did a little shift, we'd be able to face 180 degrees away from where we started. We'll do 2 more foot movements. 1, shift through, carry your teacup around. 2, and we're back to where we started. Let's do that together. So in 4 foot movements or thereabouts, you're back to where you started. 1, shift and turn, carry the teacup, rotate, turn. And then again, turn and shift and turn and pigeon toe, and we're back to where we started. Bada bang. Again, 1. So it's this balance that is so important because we can't just kerplunk into the position. We have to turn. Feel the entire relationship between legs, hips, lower back, all the way up through the neck and skull. Keep that central channel perfectly intact as you turn. And so now you eventually practice this scanning the room, scanning the space around you, not becoming dizzy, but being able to orient yourself in whatever direction is needed. And then let's go the other way. Left foot turns out, it's empty. Shift into it, turn. Keep turning that bit and pigeon toe the right foot. Change the weight, turn it out. Change the weight, pigeon toe in. Change and turn out. Change, turn in. Can you scan your space? Can you also feel like your central still point isn't disturbed at all? All that's happening is that you're using empties and fulls to keep yourself nimble. You're not getting stuck in both feet. You're saying, well, as long as I got one that's empty, I can do something with it. And then if I can go into that, the other is empty, I can do something with that. And this allows me nimbleness to orient around your room. And oh, the phone rang, so I got to go turn and aim myself, and then we're ready to go. Come back to middle. Shogun. And we finish with a little sort of warm down, or you could say cool down, but really it just kind of ties everything together. So here you need your chair, back of your chair. If it's my right hand, which will look like your left hand, this outside leg will be your right leg. Foot turns slightly out, knee turns slightly out, and we're going up, roll in, down, turn out, up, over, down, turn the leg out. While it's out, lift, bring it in, down, turn out, up, over, in, up, over, in, up, over, in. And switch. Step across. Other leg's your outside leg. Out to in. So it turns out, raises up, rolls in, hangs down. Out, up, in, down. Out, up, in, down. Switch sides. Outside leg, instead of turning out, swivel on the ball of the foot so the leg turns in, bring the knee across, open, set it down, turned out. Swivel on the ball of the foot, circle. Ball of the foot, circle. And switch sides. Swivel on the ball of the foot, the knee comes across, rolls open, comes down. Swivel on the ball of the foot, into out. Ball of foot, into out. Ball. Two more. Closing self-massage, very basic. Palms on groin. Inguinal region is known as the qua in Tai Chi. Very important space. The qua. Then go over the hips, around to the sacrum and tail. Up there onto the lumbar spine, muscles. And then we, as if sitting to a squat, the butt goes back, hands slide down the outside of the legs, come around to the inside, stand back up, they come up to the belly button. Around, rub that lumbar muscle area known as Mingmen, and then we come butt back, sit the butt, around, come back up to the navel. Around to Mingmen, up and down, sweep, and up. Last one. Sweep, and up. Shogun. And seal. 1, 2. All right. Thank you, everybody. Well done. If there are some brief questions, feel free. I know people have places they got to go, so you're welcome to wander off. But you'll have to unmute yourself if you do have a question or a thought or a reflection of any kind.
Thank you. It was great. Thank you, Otto.
Yeah, great to see you, Carrie. Take care.
Thanks, Otto.
Yeah. Bye, Kathy.
Bye.
Or,
Well, I have a question. I have a harder time keeping my balance if I'm just using my legs. It seems like in the Friday class and when we were doing a little bit of our arms, it helped me keep my balance better. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does. And so that's why Tai Chi itself as a practice is so wonderful. You know, but here we're having to break up the practice into like upper body, lower body to some degree.
I worked harder on this class.
Yeah. And that, because up here we can sort of in the Friday class, we can sort of, since we're not taking a lot of steps and really challenging, sorry, let me stop the recording.